Hello, everyone, and once again, a very warm welcome to Chinet, where we learn and explore how brands are building in an AI world. I'm your host, Rachit Magan, and today's guest is someone who has seen things that almost all founders in this space have simply have not. Asgar Dungarwalla started his e-commerce business back in 2007 when you had to explain customers that no, it's actually safe to put your credit card number into a website. When the infrastructure for e-com or even simple things like broadband barely existed. Asgar tells me that connecting to a broadband for his business meant physically mounting a satellite dish in their office and building the servers and then getting broadband access. He spent a decade before starting his company in RAF as an aeronautical engineering instructor, teaching propulsion systems on Phantom jet fighters. Then he built a drinks wholesale business, which scaled to millions in revenue. Then he went online, taught himself e-commerce from scratch, and 18 years later, Gifts Online for You, his company, sells thousands of personalized gifts, be it champagne, watches, diaries, custom prints, and their new products are also being somewhat designed using the help of AI. Customers can upload a photo, AI generates a caricature design, ships it the same day. Let's call Asgar. He's lived through every major technology shift in the commerce space in the last few decades. So let's invite Asgar to the stage. Hi, Asgar.
Hi, how are we doing?
I am doing fine. How are you?
Okay, good. In
Wonderful.
cloudy
Thank
England today. Very cloudy. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we won't talk about IPL today, promise. Indian Premier League. Won't talk about that today at all.
So, Asgar, if you could give a small introduction about yourself for the.
Yeah, my name's Asgar, as you've already said. We've been in the commercial e-commerce business for probably about 18 to 20 years. We're the first people to get on there. Have a very checkered background. I was in the RAF for 10 years, worked on lots and lots of different aircraft. When I left, I was in teaching, then went into manufacturing and at Cranfield University did all my conversions into manufacturing management. So I have an in-depth knowledge of precision engineering and running and running engineering companies. Then I got the bug of starting my own company. I went into wholesaling drinks because it's in our DNA as a business. Most of us are in business. And one of the products that we did in there was personalized alcohol because we supplied pubs and restaurants.
Right.
And we were doing, if they wanted 6 bottles of wine or champagne, we'd create a label for their own brand, put it in the bottle, which they can sell to the customer. So started branding very long time ago. And then when the internet came along, it just seemed like a natural progression to put our product that the customers can personalize and onto the website.
Hmm.
But it wasn't as easy as it sounds today.
Of course, yes. Now there's Shopify, and there are so many things which makes it very easy, right? So let's go back to 2007. What was the industry like? Were there other players? Like, how did you?
To be fair, I mean, there was a bubble coming. I mean, 2008 with the
Mhm.
massive crash, and there was like today, there was a huge investment in the internet and what the
Right.
internet can do, and there were lots of opportunities. So for us, it was finding the technical help in order for you to create your website, and we found some people who spoke a good game. They developed a website for us, and it was a full ecom website where people can personalize stuff. But they built it in frames. Now today, think why build in frames? Well, we didn't know any better. But the problem is the bots can't scan the website. So important things it couldn't scan it. So we had some technical people in our business then remove the frames so that you could actually scan it. Whereas today, building frames, people go, absolutely not, absolutely no way you'd build it in frames. But nobody knew. That was interesting. Nobody knew this technology. And at that time, we didn't even have proper broadband because we live in the countryside, and our businesses are based at the back of our property. And like I said, there was no broadband, and we were very lucky where we live. You can actually see the post office tower, so we got an opportunity of putting a satellite dish, which connected from us to the post office tower. And, even at that time, we got 2 megabytes synchronized, so you can upload to it and download to it at that time as well. The only problem was when it rained, the signal got interrupted. I mean, it was interesting, and the signal just got get interrupted. But again, you work through it, and it was fine. And so the first website went on live, and as I said, we were a manufacturer, so we wanted to develop products rather
Right.
than pushing the website. And so we were developing fantastic products. Like I remember we were doing champagne flutes, and we bought the machines to engrave the champagne flutes. And we were making lots and lots of money, enormous amount of money then, because nobody knew else how to do it. So that was fun. And I remember the first order came in, and it was a bottle of champagne, and you go, wow, the system delivered the first order. And it was true.
Right.
Full e-commerce. What we didn't have at that moment in time was you couldn't see the personalization. So people would fill in the boxes,
Right.
and they just would assume that we'd put the right information in the right place.
Hmm.
And get, anyway, we shipped the first product out, rang the customer up and said, what do you think? And that was quite interesting. But interestingly enough, when the internet came along, and when you wanted to contact somebody, you'd say, could I have your business email address?
Hmm.
There wasn't one for an individual. You'd have to ask for a company email. You would then email the company and say, can you forward that to Rishi or whoever you wanted?
Wow.
Right. But today, everybody's got an email.
Of course.
All them years ago, there was no direct email to a person. And that sort of thing, that was one of the changes I've seen.
Right.
Yeah, so we got the first order, shipped it out, rang the customer was happy.
Who was the first customer? Was it someone you knew?
You know what, I'll be honest with you, I genuinely cannot. I wish I'd kept that information.
Right.
But I do remember it was a wine bottle, because that's what we specialize in alcohol in our
Mhm.
wholesale business, and it was a bottle of wine.
Right.
And we then had to figure out how we're going to package it so it doesn't break in the post. But we figured all that out after the first order came, and then we had to go to the post office to actually get the stamps to ship the order,
To
because
ship the order.
it was early stages of
Right.
couriers. Couriers they existed, but it wasn't. They collected the parcel from the business, and it was still for us.
Hmm.
We lived in that was early days, so we go to the post office, get the stamps, and then ship it.
Hmm. Wow. Wow. From there, coming.
Yeah. So, and again, then we got broadband, and
Right.
coming in through British Telecom, but it was copper wires. It wasn't even full broadband.
Hmm.
So we had to wait many years before we got fiber broadband.
Right.
By that time, we got rid of the satellite because it was becoming very expensive to run. But even the fiber broadband only goes to the outside of the property. Stuff coming in is still copper.
Right.
So we live in the UK, but not all of us have got full fiber broadband.
Hmm.
But it's good enough. I mean, we're talking today, and it works on that system, so it's good enough.
Right.
So now we've got full broadband, and the system works perfectly well. And in that time, we've had lots and lots of websites develop, new websites, and we currently run our platform on WordPress, which is great. It works. It's got
Right.
full personalization on it, and as a business gifts online for you, it just works. Today we did sell 4,500 products, but we now dropped it down to 2,500, just because of logistics and what we realized what people are buying. So a lot of the stock that
Correct.
didn't sell, we've slowly got rid of it, and,
Right.
and here we are today.
Amazing, yeah. And also you understand, right? Like where is the market? What do people want? And then of course then you optimize for that.
Yeah, and again, Google, to be honest, okay, we are so reliant on Google, and quite rightly, because
Right.
they were not the first in the marketplace, but they pioneered the e-commerce business chain,
Right.
whether through AdWords or SEO optimization.
Correct.
And I suppose the first, I'm trying to think when they did the first Penguin and Panda update properly, and we literally lost all of our rankings overnight. They just
Wow.
So we were on position for personalized wine, personalized champagne. We're on position 1.
Right.
And at that time, Google kept us saying, you've got to get backlinks. You've got to get thousands and thousands of backlinks. So we
Right.
focused on getting backlinks. And then they said, yeah, but the quality of the backlinks are very poor. Yeah, but you said get backlinks, and as a business. And I wasn't the only one. When
Right.
I remember, I think it was about October time when it came in. I can't remember the exact dates, but it literally killed the business. It
Whoa.
literally.
This was which year?
I'm trying to place it, okay, right? It would have been 10 plus another 14, 15 years ago. Somewhere that I can't remember. But did a Penguin Panda
Right.
update. There is and you could see, your traffic was up there,
Right.
and then the next day your traffic went down to 0. It
Wow.
was a dramatic step change,
Right.
because everybody is following the path what Google said: get backlinks, get
Correct.
backlinks. And even if you look at today, if you're relying on Google for your business, it wants to give the customer the best experience it possibly can. That's what Google's there for.
Right.
But even today, the marketplace is changing completely in terms of how internet search is done. And
Mm.
we can talk about AI overviews as we progress.
Right.
But SEO is important, but SEO is just a baseline.
Right.
And everything else comes on top of that now if you want
Mm.
to be found on search
Right.
through AI. So you're right. In 18 years, we've seen lots and lots of changes come
Mm.
along, and you've had to adapt in order to
Mm.
stay in the marketplace. And I suppose customers' expectations have changed.
Of course. Of course.
If you take Amazon as a giant, I mean, if you look at with Amazon, you place an order and you expect it to turn up next day.
Correct. Right.
And all the e-com businesses, unless you have that level of service, it doesn't work. People
Right.
expect next day delivery as standard, but we're in
Yes.
the personalization business, and honestly, we can't do next day. We can
Of
on
course.
certain products, in fact, all of our products, but we cannot give a next day service because we have to physically. It's not something we take it off inventory, put
Mm.
it in the box, courier comes and picks it up, and then takes it away.
Right.
Physically have to make the products,
Right.
skilled workforce that makes the products, and
Right.
therefore we do have a next day option. There's a premium for it in terms of delivery. The cost is the same, but there's just a
The
cost
delivery time
for
increases.
delivery time. It's just a delivery. We don't make any money out of it. It's just that if customer wants it, they can have it on a next day service. But
Correct.
that's the norm today. 18 years ago, if people got it a week later, they go, "Yay! I've got my parcel,"
Right.
and they were more than happy
Mm.
to wait for a parcel. But today,
Right.
will customers wait? It's everything's now,
Now, yeah,
and
what everything.
Amazon is driving that change in the
Right.
marketplace. Whether it's customer centric, and it has to be customer centric,
Right.
otherwise it just won't work. But the
But do you
question
think
is,
it's this changes for the better, or do you think it's
well,
driving
I
us?
think to be honest, Akira, is if you look at us as a society, everything needs to be now.
Hmm.
Nobody wants to wait for anything.
Right.
And for me, I personally, well, this is my personal view, okay, right? I would never go back. Let's get it. I would never go back.
Right.
But what happens, okay, and you've seen it, you're sitting down with some friends, and what they're doing, they're
Yes.
scrolling, right?
Yeah.
You sit
Right.
and our dinner table, phones out. You just want to take your phone out. My mum wouldn't have it. I mean, she'd just go do lolly. But we sit there, even on the dinner table, going, "Oh, hang on, I just checked this." And
Right.
it's a dopamine rush that these companies have set up now
Yes.
that you want to be on your phone.
Correct.
So therefore, your attention span has narrowed,
Mm.
and that narrow focus is things means at once instant. So even if you take your website and if it doesn't load instantly, people will scroll
Yes.
away.
Yeah.
So we
Absolutely.
had to make massive investments once mobile started coming in to make sure that 80% of our traffic comes through mobile now, whereas
Oh
18 years
wow.
ago, 100% came in from
From
the
web.
desktop.
Yeah. From the
Yeah,
desktop. Right.
on the desktop. So 80%. So if you're not optimized for mobile, it ain't
Mm.
going to work. And it's a different way of working. Things have to load fast. It has to be very interactive. And
Mm.
I don't know what it's like where you are, but some part of the UK, you haven't got 5G. You're still on 4G. And therefore the connections are weaker. But then that affects everybody. It's not just me. It affects everybody.
Correct.
So those are the key issues that you're dealing with. But people's expectation is, I want it now. And if they don't have it now,
Mm.
they move away. And therefore, branding becomes important. I mean, I had a
Correct.
customer, because on ours, when you place an order, there's a feedback form. And the customer tells us, okay, how was the experience on the website? And the guy said, I actually got fed up with your website because it's got capture on it. Where you have to say, I'm a human.
Right.
You have to tick that. But for some reason, it just kept on popping up. It just kept on popping up
Okay.
on and the guy got frustrated. But the only reason why he bought our product because he couldn't get it anywhere else.
Right.
So he left me feedback on it. But because it's a one-off, I'm not going to change a one-off for one customer. It generally works really, really well. So yeah, if you've got a product that a customer wants, which we have, the customer will he will stay with you for the journey.
Right.
Would he come back again? I don't know. I mean, that's very subjective. But all your systems have to work spot on, otherwise people will just move away.
Right. And then they'll only come back if he really needs to. And there's something which they cannot get anywhere else. And that he'll be the
Well,
only one.
branding becomes important. If you've got a
Right.
great product that people want, they will spend a little bit more time getting it. And because ours are personalized gift products, in fact, this week I did a YouTube video. It was about why people buy. And what it was, my dad gave my mum a watch 65 years ago. And it's a
Mm-hmm.
Swiss made watch, and here's a question for your audience: if you had a watch that's 65 years old, and I'll give an answer at the end, by the way. I'm not going to give it now, so hopefully they stay on. 65 years ago, my dad gave my mum this particular watch, and she still wears it today. It's a Swiss-made mechanical watch. She wears today.
Mm-hmm.
Now, from a gifting point of view, why does she still do it today? It's because my dad. It's a memory in time.
Yes.
So the gifts we produce are gifts which are memory in time. Now, all of us get instant gifts, whether it's clothes, chocolates, those. But do they last? Do they leave a memory? And I suspect not. And the gifts that we produce are designed so they create a memory. So when you give it to somebody, they say, "Wow," like whether it's a personalized watch or a personalized necklace or whatever it happens to be. It's a time keep. So when I look at my mum's gift, why did she do it 65 years later? Why did she wear it? Dad gave it to her at a particular moment in time. And if she only looks at it, my dad comes there. And already my sister said, I want it when mum goes. So it will become an heirloom
Right.
in our family. And those are the type of gifts we manufacture.
And in the last 18 years, a lot has changed, right? Of course, broadband and then Facebook and then all of it. What do you think in terms of your business? What do you think has remained the same?
Good question, that. Nothing.
Wow, nothing at all?
Nothing. Everything's changed. If you take a customer, right, when I first got the first order, they're happy to wait a week, 10 days. They want it now. They want it now. If you look at the platform, social media platforms, people wanted, great storytelling in order for your brand to show up. And that's why we're making YouTube videos now and other bits and pieces. So but it's evolving at such a fast rate. You have to tell a story with every single piece of stuff that you do. Now, I remember when we did our first YouTube videos, it was about making little cocktail glasses with personal, and then you can create cocktails in them. And we got a great amount of views, but the quality was very poor. Now, today, nobody would watch that. Absolutely no way at all. So people's experience on even social has changed dramatically, completely. Your experience on the website have changed completely as well. I mean, they're totally changed. So I would say everything's changed. Your experience on the website, your expectations of delivery, customer service, it's changed totally. So I would say nothing stayed the same in an e-com world.
Wow. Yeah. Right. Wow. That's like, to think of it that you're in the same business, but you're actually not in the same business, right?
Yeah, I mean, we sell gifts. We sell gifts. As I said, to us, they're fantastic gifts because we personalize. I mean, if you take a watch, for example, we've developed. We were not a watchmaker. My background is in manufacturing and in e-com now. We were not a watchmaker. We were in an alcohol business. We've had to learn how to make a personalized watch in terms of sourcing material throughout the world, including India and China and so on.
Right.
We can now print the dial. We print the dial, and we can manufacture the whole watch and get it to our customer on a next day service.
Wow.
That's the level of, but the engineering skills I've had to learn that are phenomenal. Now, as I said, 18 years ago, if they got it in a month, the customer would be happy. Now they want it,
in
next
like
day,
2
literally.
days, next
But
day.
you have to keep on developing your skill set in order to keep up and develop new products. Because the other thing which has changed is the route to entry into the e-com world. With AI, you can develop a website just like that. You can have a website running in less than 24 hours, fully customized, fully done, and away you go with an e-com stuff in the background. And you can become a dropshipper with those particular sites.
Right.
So in order for you to be in the marketplace, you have to develop great products, but keep on developing new products. And for us, that's where, again, our business is changing to the world of AI.
Very interesting. There's actually a community question. Since we're talking about it, I'll put it up on the screen. Rahul is asking, what do you think AI will do to e-commerce?
Well, that's a great question. We've been on this. If I had the money as same as OpenAI 10 years ago, I would have developed my own library because I've got such a passion for AI. But when OpenAI launched this stuff 3.5 years ago, we were one of the first people in October 3.5 years ago to start using ChatGPT.
Oh, wow.
And the way, when it first came out, I mean, it hallucinated, it came along. But for us as a workflow, we use it constantly now. So for ideation, we use it. What type of product should we develop and so on. We now have a workflow in which you can put a basic description down of the item, take a picture of the item, the basics you've got, and it will create the description for you.
Right.
Again, you need the human because it does hallucinate.
Correct.
It doesn't know how many lines of personalization do you need.
Right.
So all that stuff needs to go on there. So that's the one bit. The other thing that you need to know, you have to optimize it for AI overviews. What is a customer physically going to be asking? He wants to
Right.
know about delivery. He wants to know about the material. And he wants to know about the warranty. And the AI, there are ways of building AI overview authority. And if you've got time, we can talk about that. So the workflow, it can create a whole description.
Right.
Once we've approved it, we can, if we wanted to, upload it automatically, but we don't at the moment. We've got different
There's
layers
a
of
human
stuff that we check.
who would check and verify and then do the
Yeah, no, but
uploading.
once you've done it,
Yeah.
you could actually upload it for you automatically if you wanted it.
Right. Correct.
If you wanted it. It can now create images for us. Some of the images that we create are done through AI, and they look absolutely fantastic. I mean, if I could share my screen, I could show you some of this stuff at the moment.
Right.
So all the images. So we had a photographer and a videographer in our business. He left about 18 months ago, and we haven't replaced him because we can now do most of the stuff, 90% of the stuff that he was doing through AI.
Through AI.
And if you look at and they can do it faster, quicker than the guy who used to work for me could ever do it. So you can create a whole workflow based on AI now. That's the level that you're at. And you can scale it up, and you can literally scale it up. It can do all your promotional work if you wanted it with using AI, but you still need the human interface with it. I'll give you the classic example of what we're doing at the moment because of GDPR and security concerns that we have. So one of the products that we developed when AI came in was caricatures. And you can say if you wanted to be an F1 racing driver, you can upload your image onto our website, and our system will generate a caricature. I suppose 2.5 years ago, he used to have 8 fingers, or eyes in the wrong place, and all of those kind of things. But that's got better. That has actually got better now. But we still don't have the confidence of using the large language models which are out there to give consistency. So what we decided to do as a business, and we're pretty much there now. We decided to develop a local server. So what we've done, right, is we've taken a base model that we found that can do images. We've then trained it through Comfy and LoRA to then manipulate the images to the standard that we want. And now we can produce a caricature consistently of any face, a child, a female, ethnicity, whereas the AIs that were out there today couldn't do that.
Right.
And the other thing is, we're just about to download it onto our own servers now. So we now control the whole ecosystem that goes with it. So we can now control all the data that's put in there. So we don't have a problem with GDPR.
Right.
But the important thing with this, we can actually, that wasn't the reason why we did. We can actually now rent that particular technology out to other e-com businesses. So they can do caricatures.
Yes. Correct.
So we started with F1, but we can do chefs. We can do cricket is unbelievable. So many people want to become cricketers, or we turn them into caricature, and football in the UK is football.
Right.
But the cricket one was interesting because we've both got English ethnicity and we've got Indian, even in the UK. But the problem is the language models are not trained on. Can I say brown faces? Well, I can because I'm brown. On brown faces. So therefore, you don't get a great likeness. Whereas because we've trained it on our own system by using LoRA, by fine tuning it, we actually get great caricatures of Indian people. And for cricket, it's perfect.
Right.
So there are opportunities of using AI for good. Now, recently, somebody got awarded £1 million for dementia, not because they've got dementia, but they wanted to develop technology that will help people with dementia. So what they've got to build a camera inside the spectacles. So when the person puts it on with an earpiece and be able to talk, when they look at, say, for example, the toaster, it will say this is a toaster. And they turn around and say you can put the bread in the toaster, press that button, and it will do it. So it will, but it depends how far down the road dementia you've got. But if you've only got slight loss of dementia, you can have still all of the functions, but the AI will help you to live a normal life. But if you think about AI, I mean, you and I probably are both on LinkedIn. What do people talk about on LinkedIn? People say productivity. This is what AI can, we can improve productivity. Or if you use AI for this, people don't talk about the application. And I've not seen many people say, the couple of examples I've given you, what the AI is capable of doing. And I'll give you one story which was amazing, that my dad found amazing. So my dad was saying, what's AI? What does AI do?
Right.
How do you explain to an 85-year-old AI? So I said, give me 1 second. I said to my dad, give me 1 second, okay, right? Now, we originally came from Uganda, and the native language in Uganda is Swahili. That's the native
All
language.
right.
And we've probably not spoken native Swahili in this country for many, many years.
Right.
And I said to my dad, okay, I've got a person at the other end of this phone call speaks Swahili. And I got a chatbot on ChatGPT. And I said to her, okay, right, I want you to speak Swahili. That's what I said to him, okay, right. And I said, Dad, there's a guy on the other end of this phone who wants to ask you some questions. So, and this is a bit like, Jambo, habari sana, that means, how are you? And my dad answered back, Kwahiri, right, means, okay, fine, thanks. And in real time, for a few minutes, my dad was having a conversation with the AI bot full in Swahili.
Right. Right.
Now, that would never, if you think about it, okay, right? And I said, Dad, that's why AI can. There's not a real person there. There's somebody who can do that. And the way I use the application in our own home, my mum's a brilliant cook. I mean, if I said to you, what's your mum like cooking? What would you say?
Sorry?
Your mother, in terms of a chef at home, what's she like? What's your mum's cooking like?
It's
Probably
good.
brilliant.
It's good. Yeah.
Brilliant. My mum's is absolutely delicious. But are her recipes written down? No, they're not. So my mum would make exceedingly brilliant cakes. Absolutely.
Lovely.
And I said, Mum, where's his recipes? And I said, well, I ain't got it. I ain't got it. I said, I'll tell you what, Mum, okay, right? I'm going to write your recipes down. So what I did, I think I've still got it here, if I've still got it. If I had, that's my mum. That's the caricature of my mum. That's the caricature of my mum, okay, right? And I did that through our AI system. I was going to give her this book. I was going to give her that book. And I said to her, okay, no, I was going to write all of her recipes down in this particular book. Right, that's what I was going to use. And I thought, she's never going to write it down. Never going to happen. So I said, okay, Mum, not to worry. Let's make a cake. And she speaks fluent Gujarati. Right? And she speaks English, but her default tongue is Gujarati.
Right.
So she got all the ingredients, she put them out. And again, I put the chatbot, listen to this in Gujarati and let translate it for me. Translate it, right? And Mum said to her, Mum, imagine I'm just here and you're teaching me, I want to make you a cake. And Mum would say, Torukana kono, a little bit this, 2 teaspoons of this and this and this. And the AI bot was listening in the background. And I said, if you need to ask questions, don't ask immediately, but ask in Gujarati. Just ask in Gujarati.
Right.
And Mum made the whole cake. And then Dad got involved with pushing the stuff in the oven and doing whatever dads do. And Mum was saying, get out my kitchen and all the things that happen in the kitchen, domestic. Right. So Mum made the cake. And then in the end, I said, what I'm going to do, right, is I want to take all the information my mum's given to the bot. And can you translate it into Gujarati so she can read it? And it translated. And it said, a bit of this, a bit of that, a bit, but 2 spoons of that, this or whatever.
Right.
And I said, Mum, can you read that? And Mum read it and said, that's spot on my phone. I then took that recipe and did it in English. Right. And then I did something like this, and then I put it on Reddit. And people have emailed me or on Reddit and said, can I have your mum's recipe? Because I told this story on Reddit. Right. And literally, again, I can show it to you. There are thousands of likes, or hundreds. I think it's hundreds of I can't remember what the numbers are. Right. But it was a staggering amount of people who are interested in what my mum did. Right. And isn't that a great use of technology? Yeah, and I say to people, start using AI and the answers will come. Don't think about productivity. Don't think about this. Don't think about that. Okay? Just use it. And by using it, all these different applications that I've spoken about are great use of AIs. And that will trigger, like in our case, this caricature business came about because we just started using it.
Correct.
So all of these things, so going back to your original question, AI, yes, that's what it does. And I think you just put a question up there. What did you say?
So there's a community question. Whether the future of gifting, is it AI generated art or human crafted products? Like what do you think?
There's an opportunity for both. I personally believe the human creativity is never, because everything that's out there in AI is taught by humans. AI cannot think creatively. It can give you ideas, but there are ideas taken from different places. Right. So there will be an opportunity for both. I think there's an opportunity for both. So yes, but I think we've developed, for example, bird flower watches on our website, whether it's a daffodil or a lily, the AI artwork is generated using AI. I could have gone somebody to draw me these particular things, but how long would that have taken? So yes, there is absolutely 100% opportunity for both. And
Mm.
you can be honest. This is AI. This is human. And
Right.
why not give the consumer a choice? But if you want scalability, how many images is a human going to AI caricature? How many images are they going to create in an hour?
Mm. Correct. Correct.
And if
And also,
somebody
there's
wants an
some there's it can be something in between as well, right? Like there can be human
I'm
assisted
total
AI.
agreement for that. I think you can have. There's an opportunity for both
Mm.
in this particular world. And people say, well, AI will ruin things. And again, I had this conversation on Reddit, and it was like, I've got such a anti thing on this. It was unbelievable. And I'm saying,
Right.
look, I'm not against creativity. What I'm
Mm.
saying to you, what AI does, it can scale it up and it can give
Right.
you new ideas. So if you put a particular prompt down, that I want the flower in the garden or something, it will generate an image. It will give you an idea. You don't have to use it. But
Right.
can you imagine if somebody had drawn that for you hours and hours? You said, you know what?
Mm.
I really like this. Then there is a trade-off in cost. There's a trade-off.
Absolutely. Right.
But
Absolutely.
what people don't talk about, and that's why one of the things why we've got a local server, we do believe in green. We don't talk about, we
Mm.
actually preach green. So we've got solar panels in our business,
Mm.
which captures. We've got lights which are LED.
Mm.
So bringing the stuff back onto a local server,
Right.
because I think there's an interesting bit that Sam Altman says, how much energy they use up in the LLMs when people say
Right.
thank you and please.
Mm. Yeah. 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 I saw that. I read that.
I mean, look at the energy that we're burning. And even though
Right.
our simple question is going through all that churning,
Mm.
and does it need it? No,
Right.
it doesn't. So that's one of the reasons why, from an energy
Mm.
efficient point of view,
Right.
having something on your local server makes a lot of sense. And
Mm.
you watch in the next probably 12 months, I would say, people will be going down the route of local servers because
Mm.
they'll have much more control in their businesses in what they're trying to achieve, like we've done. And I
Right.
can see that progressing. And all the data belongs to you. It doesn't belong
Correct.
to, because if your data is in America on an American server,
Right.
what will happen is that they can access that data. That if
Mm.
the American government wants to access that data, they can get it. In Britain, they
Yes.
can't. In
Mm.
Britain, they can't. But in America, so people are very sensitive about data,
Right.
and therefore having stuff on your local server makes complete sense.
And even now, AI overviews are the new thing. No one's going to go to links, right? No one's clicking on websites anymore. Very soon, I think, even with AI overviews, very soon people will just directly not even go to websites, right? Directly buy from there in the next couple of years.
But here's a question for you. Here's a
Mm-hmm.
question for you and your audience. Now, I remember to a penguin and panda update,
Mm-hmm.
and I literally lost my business. The focus today is on AI overviews.
Right.
If any one of them change the goalpost, which they can because they're in control of it,
Of
what
course,
happens to your business?
it's something to introspect on. It's very very
Well,
important.
as I said to you, we'll focus on AI overviews because that's what they
Correct.
want today,
Right.
and then
But
in
we
5
never
years
know.
the goalpost will change, and
Yes.
what they go,
Yes.
and it will. So if you're in this industry, any industry today, the goalpost will keep changing.
Mm.
And what I say to people, you have to invest in yourself in order to be right at the forefront. So if you were investing money, where would I would say invest in yourself, because as
Correct.
technology moves, you moving with it.
Absolutely. Wonderful. This is very solid, Asgar. It is. I think we're out of time, but yeah, I think it has been a very rare conversation. You've actually worked for. You have an experience of decades together and building things, making things, learning, adapting, being in the same business, but not being in the same business because it has evolved so much.
But don't forget
And
my
but very good,
generation. Yeah, don't forget, Rishi, my generation, okay, right, is
right?
we saw things progressing from valves to transistors. We
Hmm.
saw the first moon landing,
Right.
1969. We then saw the first computers come out, and we had to
Right.
learn about computers. We then had the internet. Then we had
Right.
the mobile.
Right.
Now we're dealing with AI. So my generation is pretty well
Wow.
a change.
I know. From, fax machines, or even before, from letters to AI, right?
Again, I
You've
was
seen it
there.
all.
I remember you sent a letter. In fact, phones. I remember that if you wanted to make a phone call, you have to go down the road, take some coins with you, and
Right, right.
make phone calls. And with the letters, you write letters, send it to somebody. you'd send in either special delivery, so they get it next day, you paid extra, and the person will get it and then reply back to you, or they'll ring you back.
Right.
And then when the fax machine came along, people say, I'll just fax it through to you. And you sit there and you're in a fax machine sending the stuff through. And I'll just fax it to me. Just fax it to me. And then the faxes become automated.
Right.
And you've got reams of fax coming through, thermal rolls coming through. And now we'll just email it through. If you look at your email box now,
It's the same.
I think as consumers, as people, we're getting an overload with information.
Yes, 100%.
And there was a great story about AI. So somebody took this piece of information and condensed it to 4 paragraphs. They then gave it to the person. They ran it through the AI and says, can you expand on it? And the information that was here is what ended up here. But in the between there was a summary.
Right.
And you think, well,
Well,
it's going to be interesting.
Wonderful. Yeah. Lovely talking to you, Asgar. Thank you so much for your time. It's been an amazing conversation.
I enjoyed it because it gave me a chance to, it creates memories that I've forgotten. It gave me a chance to recap on them.
Relive them. Yeah. Thank you so much. And I think to me and to all our listeners, we've gotten a lot to learn from you, from your experiences. Yeah, for everyone listening, today's conversation made you think differently about what building in an AI world and what changing technology means. Please share this conversation with your friends and with other founders. And if you want to see Asgar building, I think he's decently active on LinkedIn. Please reach out to him and follow him. This was China at the Agentic Commerce podcast. I'll see you in the next episode. So once again, thank you so much.
You're welcome. I enjoyed it.
Me too.
Have a great day, everybody.
You too. Thank you.